Hey guys, welcome to today's webinar. We're going to be showing you some pretty cool stuff today. Right now, just setting things up a little bit, making sure that we're live on YouTube, which we just went live. And let me share my screen with you guys so we can get moving on this. I hope you guys are all doing well today. Hope sunny wherever you are and life is good. By the way, so as I mentioned, we're streaming live on YouTube right now. So if you guys are interested in the recording of this class afterwards, and or if you would like to see other videos that we've created, because we create a lot of these things, right? We're actually gonna be releasing a series where I've interviewed like a bunch of different CEOs and people that like manage money in different kinds of ways, everything from crypto to real estate to I guess fundamental analysis. There's a bunch of interviews coming out soon. And you know, of course, like I said, this is live right now here on YouTube, right? So you can see us live, right? So if you want to watch this again afterwards, this is where you can find the recording. It's on our YouTube channel. So let's go into YouTube, search for Lumiwealth, L-U-M-I Wealth. I will actually even share this link to make it even easier for you guys. I'll share this in the chat. Okay. There you go. So I shared the link to our YouTube channel. And again, so you'll be able to go in here and you'll be able to rewatch it afterwards and you'll be able to see a lot of other things. Make sure that you subscribe to us as well. As you can see, I'm subscribed, and make sure you hit this little bell button, right? Just because then as we're releasing videos, you'll get all the latest videos that are coming out. And like I said, we release a lot of free stuff and a lot of cool things are coming around the corner. So I think you guys will be very interested in seeing some of these things. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications button. All right, cool, awesome. Okay, so let's dive into it. So today what we're going to be covering is we're going to be covering building a trading bot using Lumibot. All right. We have a couple of new strategies to show you guys today. So it's actually a pretty exciting one because we have a couple new ones that are like pretty cool and some that actually we put our own money into. So definitely some really cool strategies to demo today. All right, okay, so on the agenda, so this is basically what we're gonna be doing today. First of all, kind of want to get to know you guys a little bit, who's on the call. We're gonna do a quick introduction about myself, Lumiwealth, and all that kind of stuff. And then we're gonna jump into algorithmic trading and show you a demo of exactly how this trades and what you could expect going through a course or just, you know, using our open source software, right? So we'll show you that demo and show you exactly how this works, right? Okay. So let's start off with who is on this call, right? So you guys can communicate in two different ways. Don't feel like you have to wait until the end to communicate. But you can communicate through the Q&A. There's a Q&A button or through the chat. And if you guys can just write inside the chat or the Q&A, let me know about, you know, what's your occupation, if you know how to program, right? And how much investment experience you guys have, these three questions. And these three questions are basically to help get to know you guys, and I can help tailor this this webinar towards you and make sure that's something that you that makes sense in your head, right? Every time we do this, we have a slightly different audience, so it'd be good to get to know you guys. So I'll let you guys type that into chat, just write in there, you know, what's your occupation, if you know how to program, and how much experience you have, and just type that into chat, right? Okay. While I wait for you guys to do that, right, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself, right? And I'm going to answer a couple of those questions as well, right? So, so first of all, who am I? My name is Robert Grezik. I've been programming computers for over 20 years now. I was one of those kids that started, I was like 12 years old when I started coding. It's been a long time. You know, from learning how to code at a very young age, went to business school, did my master's in finance, spent a lot of time on Wall Street managing software teams, essentially building out all sorts of different types of fintech products, right? So I've been on a team at managing people where we're building out things for lenders. So a company called Greystone, we built a piece of software that helps mortgage lending happen a lot easier. I believe that system to date, we've done maybe like 20 billion or 30 billion in transactions, probably actually more than that by now. So that system's performed a lot. That's something that I helped build back in the day, put together the team, all that sort of stuff. I also, before this, worked at Voyager, which if you guys are familiar with the crypto industry, it's kind of like a Coinbase. It's like a crypto broker. I was there ground zero, employee number 5, basically built this thing from scratch, right? And now this company is actually on the stock market worth $3 billion, right? So have a lot of experience with finance, a lot of experience with trading stocks, and a lot of experience trading stocks and crypto and all sorts of things. And obviously a lot of experience in software industry. So that's kind of my background, right? Let's take a look here. Some of you guys posted in chat. Director of IT, very minimal coding experience, just started out trading hodl crypto. I like that. That's great. Yeah, that's great. So it sounds like you have some experience in the software world, which is great. That's definitely very helpful. And just starting out trading, I think you'd be very pleasantly surprised by when you learn how to code and you learn how to do data science. It actually helps you a lot when you start out trading. I've spoken to some people that said, you should first, learn how to trade and then learn how to do this sort of thing. I think it's actually the opposite, because it will help you avoid a lot of mistakes, right? Doing data science and understanding kind of the implications behind what you're doing will help a lot with your trading endeavors, right? So by the way, those of you that just joined, we're asking this question to everyone, right? So who's on this call? If you get an answer, what is your occupation? If you know how to program, and how much investment experience you guys have. I got another chat here. Manufacturing manager. Great. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to continue while you guys type out this chat. So I told you about myself, kind of my programming experience, and worked on Wall Street, that sort of thing. So what is Lumiwealth, right? So Lumiwealth is our company that we started about 2 years ago now, grown quite quickly since then. And basically what we do is we're dedicated to helping everyday people make more money with their investments, right? So we do that a lot right now through education, right? So we help basically teach people how to code and how to code trading robots. So like what we're talking about this class. We also teach machine learning, how to apply machine learning to, it's kind of like artificial intelligence for those of you that don't know. Apply those types of techniques to the finance world to help you make better decisions and trade better, that sort of thing. We're coming out with an options trading course very soon. We're just putting the finishing touches on some of our new option stuff. So actually, if you guys join this class, the one that's coming up, you guys are actually going to have access to options as well. And then we're building out a course entirely on options pretty soon as well. All right. So we do a lot of education. We're also working towards actually being able to allow you guys to invest directly through us, right? So we'll teach you how to make this, but we're also working on a website where we just have our algorithms. You can pick and choose which one you want to use, and then basically kind of like an investment manager in some sense, right? We're working on that. We're also working on some stuff in crypto. So a lot of different things we're doing to try to make sure you guys get the best returns possible. All right. Okay, so that's me. That's Lumiwealth. I also want to remind you guys again, for those of you especially that just joined, make sure you follow us on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, search for Lumiwealth. I put the link earlier. I'll send the link one more time here. This is our YouTube channel. And essentially after this, you'll be able to look at the recording here, right? So as you can see, we're live here on our channel. You can see the recording after this. So if you're interested in the recording, you can do that here, right? And also we send off a lot of videos through here, lots of free content and lots of different things are going to be coming down the pipe. We interviewed a bunch of really prominent CEOs across the investment world. So we're going to be releasing that as a series. There's a bunch of free stuff that we're going to be putting out soon, showing off some of our new trading strategies, a bunch of things we're going to be putting into here. So make sure that you subscribe to us and make sure that you push this button here, the reminders button, so that you get those notifications when new things come out. Because a lot of things do come out through our YouTube channel. So don't want you guys to miss out, right? Another way that you guys can also join our community and kind of be part of the whole movement is through Discord. And I'm going to, actually, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the entire presentation link inside the chat so you guys can follow along with the presentation. And I'm going to specifically put in the Discord link as well, so you guys can join us on Discord. So what is Discord, right? And why do you care, right? So Discord is essentially our chat, right? So think about it as like Slack, if you guys are familiar with Slack. We have lots and lots of people in here. We have conversations around all sorts of different things. We have a general channel that goes off on things. We have a crypto channel, which is always very, very active, talking about all things crypto. We have our stocks channel where people talk about stocks. And then we have a lot of our alumni in here as well. So if you want to get to know people that have taken the course already, you can do so here. You can speak to our alumni, right? So if you're interested about any of this stuff, if you want to learn more about Lumibot, we have lots of conversations around that as well. So if you're interested in algo trading, you're interested in trading in general, I really think you guys should join our Discord group. A lot of people love being there, and it's definitely very, very active. Get a lot of notifications every day, and it's great. You know. Okay, cool. So that's that. And then also just want to have a quick little reminder here. We're going to have a survey at the end of this webinar. Please make sure you fill that out so that we can continue to make this thing better over time, and so that we can provide you with what you want, right? From the classes and from our you know, our future endeavors and whatnot. I always love getting feedback and improving things. So please fill out that survey at the end. Thank you. Okay, cool. So let's jump into it. All right. By the way, guys, if you have any questions throughout, feel free to just ask in the chat or post in the Q&A. Don't wait until the end. Feel free to post as we go, right? It's nice. It's really nice when this gets interactive, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, so algorithmic trading, what is it? Why do we care? Right? So algorithmic trading is using software to analyze data and make trades, right? So basically, as opposed to you sitting there clicking buy and sell, you could have an algorithm that will do that for you, right? And sometimes it doesn't even necessarily have to do the actual buy or sell action for you. It could also provide you with alerts, right? Both of those are considered a type of algorithmic trading, right? So basically, it's all about using data and using things like machine learning, looking at, you know, Twitter feeds and things like that, using technical analysis, using fundamental analysis, all sorts of different things that we do in order to have systematic returns, right? That's what it's all about. It's basically making it so that you're making money in your sleep. You're not worrying too much about it. It's handling all that stuff for you. Okay? So why do we care about this? Well, first of all, if you think about it, software is basically taken over everything in the world, right? Name an industry that software has not dominated. And if it hasn't yet, it probably will soon, right? It's just the nature of it, right? You see all these amazing new things happening in healthcare for software. You see what happened with like social media, right? You see what happened with obviously, you know, World Wide Web and communication between people. Like all this stuff has been helped a lot by software. So if all that helps, if software helps all that, why not the world of finance, right? And the truth is that it actually really is making a big impact, right? So as you would expect, right? So being able to automate things, move faster, be cheaper when you're making executions or when you're have strategies going, being smarter, using more information, more data, being less emotionally involved, so you're not like stressed out. Because some people trade and they you know, because of the stress levels, they kind of like lose money because of it. You know, all these things get eliminated when you're using software, and you get a lot of advantages, right? So don't take my word for it, right? Let's take a look at a couple companies that are doing this sort of thing. Okay, you guys have probably heard of these. If you haven't, I highly suggest you do a little bit of research because these guys are awesome. So a couple here. So Renaissance Technologies, I'm going to highlight these guys. They're probably the biggest or second biggest algorithmic trading firm in the world. These guys are kicking butt. You know what I mean? Their founder, Jim Simmons, if you guys haven't ever read up on him, there's a bunch of YouTube videos. It's interesting to watch him. And honestly, I think the most successful investor of all time, Warren Buffett, eat your heart out. This guy's done a lot better than Warren Buffett. He's done double the returns of Warren Buffett. Okay. He has a book called, this is stuff on, you know, you can read up on him on Investopedia and whatnot. There's also a really interesting book that came out about him recently called The Man Who Solved the Market. Great book. I'm going to give you guys the search here. I'm going to send you guys the link because this is a fantastic book. But basically it talks about, well, it's a very long link from Google, but anyways, the book is all about basically Jim Simmons and how he created this hedge fund that basically solved the market, right? Like these guys are making so much money that it was silly, right? Like they might as well have had a printing press of money in their house, right? The story it's interesting at the beginning. There's a lot of mathematical stuff that they mentioned, not math heavy or anything, but they kind of talk about his history and whatnot. And you know, by the end of the book, it gets fascinating because these guys are making so much money. They're like buying houses that they forgot about, all sorts of stuff like that. Really great read. I'd highly suggest you guys read this book. It's a very interesting one. All right. Anyways, the book is all about Jim Simmons, the guy that started this hedge fund, right? So let's talk about how this hedge fund is doing, right? These guys have about $110 billion worth of assets. I think that's actually higher now since I last looked at it, right? But obviously a very big fund, one of the biggest in the world. These guys, the Medallion Fund has made 39% average return year on year, okay? And this is 39%. This is not your friends saying, oh, I bought a stock and I made 40%. I did it this year. This is for the past 30 years consistently, 39% every year, not losing money. I think they lost money for like 1 quarter or something like that. They like never lose money. Talk about 2008. They didn't lose money then. They made money then. Last year, 2020, their fund was up almost 100%. Okay. This is 39% on average and with very low risk, right? Which means you could even leverage this up a little bit, right? So 39%, what does that mean? You know, I feel like a lot of people without the background in finance, you know, to grasp how much this actually makes you. So let's say the stock market, when you invest, you typically, you know, the average return is about 15%. You have those years like last year, like you might have made a ton of money, right? You might have taken some crazy risks and made money in one situation, but we're talking about here consistent returns. We're talking about here on over a long period of time, how much this can actually affect you. So think about it this way. If you put in $1,000, only $1,000, waited for 30 years at 39%, you're going to end up with $24 million. 1,000 turned into 24 million. This is literally, if you invest with Warren Buffett, what most people consider to be the most successful investor of all time, right? He did not do returns like this, okay? If you put in $1,000 with Warren Buffett at the peak of how good he was, this 1,000 would only turn into like 5 million, right? So you're getting something like 5 times the returns because of this guy, because of Jim Simmons. He's wildly successful, right? And essentially what they're doing is they're doing algorithmic trading, right? What they're doing is they've built a bunch of robots using machine learning, using data science, getting, you know, they do all sorts of kind of stuff. Obviously, we don't know exactly because they're super secretive, right? But they use everything from like satellite data to analyze things. I'm sure they're looking at Reddit and all those types of things as well. Lots and lots of different ways that they're using computers essentially to make them money, right? And this book actually goes into it. There's some very interesting stuff in the book where he talks about this, right? These guys are just minting cash, right? Actually, their Medallion Fund, they make so much money that they kicked out all of their investors. They said, we only get to invest in this. If you work there, you get to invest in them. No one else is allowed to because they don't want any more money. They don't need any more money, right? So that's Renaissance, but they're not the only ones. These guys are killing it, right? Making tons and tons of money. They're not the only ones though, right? Two Sigma is another one of these guys. Algorithmic Trading as well, $60 billion worth of assets. These guys are doing like double the stock market's returns. Citadel, same thing, $32 billion in assets. Again, Algorithmic Trading, they do a lot of high frequency trading as well. These guys are just minting cash, growing very quickly. Bridgewater, you guys might have heard of, you know, Ray Dalio. They use a lot of data science, a lot of data to inform their decisions and figure out where they want to be trading, right? So these guys they're probably, I think they're the biggest hedge fund in the world, if I'm not mistaken. $138 billion last time I checked. I think actually quite a bit more since then. So those guys are killing it as well. And then D.E. Shaw is another one, right? There's tons I could name tons of these, right? But honestly, like these are just like the top hedge funds in the world, and they're all algorithmic trading, right? There's a common theme between all the hedge funds, the best ones in the world, and they're all using computers to do this stuff, right? D.E. Shaw is another really good one. This you guys might actually recognize D.E. Shaw if you know a little bit about the history of Jeff Bezos. He actually used to work there before he started Amazon, right? So D.E. Shaw had Jeff Bezos as an employee. While he was there, he came up with the idea for Amazon, left, started Amazon, and we all know the history there, right? So definitely if you're working on algorithmic trading, you're in very good company with people that are really making quite substantial amounts of money and very good returns, right? And of course, if you want to get a job at one of these places, they pay very well. I think the starting salary is around $350,000, but that doesn't include bonuses. Like if you get a job at one of these places, not easy to get a job there, but you know, if you do get a job there, I think that the average pay is something like $10 million a year. It's like they pay very, very well because they make a lot of money, right? Okay, here's some examples of our returns. This is basically just a screenshot of my Fidelity account. As you can see, over this time period, S&P 500 did 17%. We did 52. This is basically last year, right? So we basically tripled the stock market last year with our investments, right? We also have a bunch of other accounts where we have different types of strategies running in different types of accounts. Some of them have actually done much better than this, but this is just one of the screenshots of one of our accounts, right? Okay, cool. So so that's essentially the basics on algorithmic trading and how all that stuff works. Let's jump into the code and let's actually show you some demos of this stuff, right? Because that's the fun part, right? So here's our code. If you guys are interested, if you guys know how to code, you can take a look at our open source library. So we know what we're talking about. We have our own open source library that you can work with, very well documented. We're adding in options trading probably as of today or tomorrow. We're just doing the final tests on it. So this will be able to trade options for you very soon as well. And we're going to be adding in Forex and crypto and a bunch of other stuff. But basically, this software allows you to very easily back test, right? So whenever you're creating a trading strategy, you first want to test to see how it would have worked in the past, right? And that gives you good information as to whether this will work going forward, right? So kind of the steps are you create a strategy, you back test it, right? See how it would have done over the past 10, 20, 30 years, right? If it did well over that time period, you're saying, okay, that makes sense. This could potentially be a very good investment decision for me. Paper trade it for a little while, right? With fake money, which we're going to show you today, fake money, and show you how things work. Paper trade for a little bit, make sure it's working properly, and then we go into live money. That's kind of the process here. And what we have is we have software here that makes this a lot easier for you, right? We have a bunch of example strategies that are in the open source software. We give you a lot more strategies when you go through the courses, right? And essentially makes it very easy for you to build a strategy, back test it, run it seamlessly and easily, right? So that's what this is all about. Okay. And we have a lot of example strategies in there. Like I said, we have a lot more strategies. If you take our courses, we're building a library of them. So we can show you, we can give you access to that library. First of all, it keeps growing, and you'll have us walk you through it in the actual classes themselves. But yeah, so that's essentially our open source software. There's a lot of things that we're taking that towards as well in the future. All right. Cool. Okay. So let's get into a demo. All right. So this is, I'm going to show you a couple different trading strategies that we show you, first of all, in the courses, and that you can employ yourself. It's pretty easy for you to get these up and running. I've had people that have never coded a day in their lives and have these strategies running within just a few weeks. Yeah, so even if you don't know how to code, don't feel like you have to shy away from this or whatever. I'm going to be showing you a bunch of code here, but really it's not that difficult to learn. We've been able to teach a lot of people that have never coded before in their lives, right? Okay, so here, let's show you a demo of some of our different trading strategies. Yeah. So there's a couple I want to show you today. We have some new ones, like I was saying. Okay. So I want to show you, first of all, our fast trading strategy, just because a lot of people, whenever they think algo trading, they want to be able to trade really quickly, get in and out of things very fast, and analyze a lot of things. So what I'm doing here is I'm running this fast trading strategy. If you see here, we go into our broker. It was nothing, and now it bought a whole bunch of stuff automatically by itself. Okay. And let me describe to you essentially what this strategy is doing. Okay. Here is the code. The code is fairly straightforward. It's not that long, right? It looks like 160 lines of code, but a lot of it is boilerplate stuff, and a lot of it is like kind of just tracking things and whatnot. It's very easy for you guys to get something like this up and running. Essentially, what it does is it looks at these symbols here, right? SPY, gold, TLT, Microsoft, Tesla, etc. Right? We're looking at all those symbols and basically saying which one has done the best over the past 1 minute, right? And whichever one did the best, has had a momentum, the best momentum, it keeps the top four, okay? And it'll keep swapping them out. So if we watch this here, we see the top four we have right now is TLT, XPXS, XPXL, and MCHI. Those are best over 1 minute. You see that just swapped. we just bought some gold. So it sold TLT and it bought gold. Okay. And if we leave this running, you'll see basically you'll do this all day long, right? You don't have to be in front of your computer. You could have this thing running in the cloud. You could have this thing running off your computer. And it will just keep trading for you all day long, right? Now, this is a strategy that, follows momentum, but you could just as easily do a lot of other things with this, right? You could use technical analysis for this, right? I know a lot of people like looking at charts and support resistance, that sort of thing. You could use that, right? You could use things like RSI or pivot points or VWAP, right? You could use all those types of things to influence which stocks you want to own and have like a, we have our top 10 stocks, and based on our criteria, we keep the top 4, and you can trade throughout the day doing that sort of thing. So this is very flexible. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this. And this is just a demo to kind of show you, this fast trading, how it moves in and out. If we give it another minute, it should actually flip things around. We'll give it, so it executes once every minute. If we give it a little bit more time, it'll swap things out. Oh, there you go. Okay, it just did that. So it sold the gold. Remember, you guys saw the gold. It sold that, and it sold our MCHI. So we sold 2 of those things, and then bought SPY and bought Microsoft, right? And that's because those have been the ones that are doing the best over the past minute, and just kind of holds on to them, right? So it's just a simple momentum strategy. But like I said, there's a lot of other things that you could convert this into. Use any kind of technical analysis you want, or any kind of criteria that you want to do this sort of trading, right? This is something I'll be like throughout the day, intraday, quickly getting in and out of things, all right? All right, okay, so that's our fast trading strategy. Let's show you our technical analysis strategy, right? Because this one is, we could basically take what we did in the last one, okay? And we can do the same thing, or we could use essentially, what we did in the last one. We could apply this sort of stuff for technical analysis type of stuff, right? So what this one does is it's, sorry, there's a question here on chat. I want to do day trading. Will it help me with that? Yes, absolutely. Will help you with day trading. Yeah. So last strategy that I just showed you, the fast trading, is very well suited for day trading, right? So what you would do is you would take something like that and combine it with maybe a technical. It depends on how you trade, right? If you trade, support resistance, if you trade using VWAP, if you trade using some sort of technical analysis, RSIs or Bollinger Bands or whatever, we could implement all that kind of stuff, right? So here is a technical analysis strategy. This one trades a little slower, but you can mix the two together, right? You can make it so that the last one that we had takes the top 4 stocks, right? This one, what it does is it trades based off of RSI, right? So it looks at the RSI of SPY, right? And if RSI falls below 33, okay, so it's looking at the RSI for SPY, and it has 2 stocks that it trades, okay? It has SPY and TLT, okay? It has the 2 of them, okay? And they're normally 60-40, which is kind of like what investment advisors recommend, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, right? But when the RSI gets too high on SPY, which means kind of like it's overbought, right, is what we call it with RSI terms. When it's overbought, then we say, okay, let's get out of SPY and only buy TLT. So we sell our SPY, go 100% to TLT. And then the opposite situation, when SPY falls too much and the RSI is low, then we will sell all of our TLT and only buy SPY, right? So it's changing weightings in our stocks based off of this criteria of a technical analysis, right? Technical indicator, okay? So if we see it trading right now, you'll see it bought 60-40 SPY, so 60% of money of 50,000 is put into SPY automatically, right? And TLT, the other 20,000, right? The other 40%, okay? If this is a time when SPY was too high, it would automatically sell SPY and get into TLT. Or if opposite happened, if SPY fell a lot, it will do the flip as well. You could do this much faster. You could do this with many stocks throughout the day. And you could use a lot of other types of technical analysis as well. So we use this library, right? You could use Bollinger Bands, right? You could use, some of these things, I don't even know what they are. Average true range, you could use that. Bollinger Bands, you could use moving averages, crossing, you could use MACD, all sorts of different things that you could use to trade with. RSI, stochastic RSI, right? Lots and lots of different things that you could use to trade. And you could trade throughout the day, buying and selling things automatically based on your criteria, right? You don't have to be at your computer. You don't have to be paying attention to it. You can set up stop losses automatically, all that kind of stuff you can get through the bot, right? Okay, so that's our technical analysis strategy, right? Okay, I'm going to show you some cool new ones that we just made, right? So this is one that I think will probably resonate with a lot of you guys. This is a really fun one that we actually just created, and I'm actually in the process of testing exactly how well it does, but it is definitely a very interesting strategy. This is not the right, okay, we're gonna get out of this. So this is a strategy that we call Reddit sentiment, okay? You get access to this strategy. If you join our classes, you get access to this strategy within our classes, right? We'll give this to you. You could use this, you can modify this. It's part of our library of different algorithms, right? Okay, so let me run this one here, okay? And let me explain to you kind of what it's doing, all right? So this strategy, what it does is it goes to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wall Street bets. I feel like this has blown up in popularity recently. And of course, you guys, if you guys follow this sort of thing or know about this sort of thing, it's been influencing a lot of stocks lately, right? The increases in GameStop was because of this channel on Reddit. Basically, I think it's now, when I last checked, there's 1 million, but someone told me there's 4 million people on here. Everyone's discussing stocks, talking about, what to buy, what to sell, that sort of thing. And it actually has quite a bit of predictive power where, GameStop shot up a lot because of what happened on Wall Street bets. There's some people that got going and basically went through the roof, right? GameStop, AMC was another one that's like a big, we call it meme stock or Wall Street bet stock. And there's a few other ones that are happening more recently, like Wish, and a few other ones that maybe you guys have missed out on. But if you had this bot that we've built out here, you won't have to, right? So what it does is it automatically downloads the hot topics within Wall Street bets, right? Downloads, you could specify exactly how much you want to download, right? And then it looks over all of those topics, reads all the comments, and uses some artificial intelligence, uses a bit of machine learning type stuff to figure out which stocks have the best sentiment, okay? And sentiment being whether people are saying they like them or not, right? I hate Wish, or I love Wish, or I think Wish is going to the moon, right? It's going to read all those comments and tell you which stocks are, first of all, talked about the most and which ones have the best sentiment. So we see here, Apple, for example, does not have a very good sentiment. It's widely talked about. People don't seem to like it on Wall Street bets right now. Ones that they do like is this one here, 0.43 Wish. This one's been a hot topic for a while. If you look at the stock charts, by the way, it's gone up a lot. It's doubled over the past week or two. All right, so that sentiment is high up there. We have GOEV. I don't even know what that is. This is talking about, people are talking about this on Wall Street bets. But in either case, what it did is automatically read all that kind of stuff and then bought the top ones for you, right? So let's take a look here. Boom. These are all the top stocks on Wall Street bets, right? It will automatically hold on to these and read actually these comments throughout the day and throughout the week. So you could have this running in a server, running on your computer. It will automatically buy, in this case, the top 4 stocks that are talked about on Wall Street bets. Not only the ones that are the most popular, but also the ones that people have the best sentiment for, that people say they really like. Look at that. We just bought them and all of a sudden our money is already starting to go up. It's kind of fun to watch. Yeah, so this is a very interesting strategy. We're going to be actually testing this over the next little bit, and I'm thinking about putting some of our own funds money into this as well. All right, so look at that. We literally just bought it, and look at what happened to our stock price. Like it's literally within a minute, it's shooting up like crazy, right? And what this strategy will do is it'll just keep reading this all day long, right? And see, has it changed, right? If sentiments have changed, it will get rid of it, right? Or if sentiments have gone up for one, it will buy it, right? So automatically be doing this stuff all day long. All right, definitely really cool. It's amazing how fast it's going up. So we have a question here. I have no coding experience. Will this program sync into my trading platform and auto execute the trades? It depends what trading platform you use, right? So if you have no coding experience, I wouldn't be too worried about it. We have a lot of people in our classes with no coding experience, and they've all been able to get bots up and running. So I wouldn't be too surprised about that. I wouldn't be too worried about that, right? Whether it links with your trading platform, it depends on what trading platform you're using, right? We have 2 brokers that we work with right off the bat. Yeah, so we use Alpaca, we use Interactive Brokers, and we're going to be adding in TradeStation soon. That's the next one that we're adding in. So if you use TradeStation, we'll probably have this built in within the next like 2 months, right? So we are definitely going to be adding that in soon, right? So yeah, so for Thinkorswim, they don't have API access. They have API access to something called TD Ameritrade. They don't give you access to the Thinkorswim platform. It's kind of a little weird there. So we recommend, actually, if you want to do like algo trading, TD Ameritrade is really not the best, right? They don't allow you to do paper trading, that sort of thing. And to be honest with you, it's really easy to switch brokers, right? Like to open up an account with Alpaca, like honestly, I think you could do this within 5 minutes, right? It's really easy to do that. So we work with them. We work with the Interactive Brokers. We're going to be adding in TradeStation very soon. And then we're going to keep adding in more and more as we go. So you definitely have a lot of options there. This is amazing. Look at this. We literally just bought this and we're already making like a bunch of money. The stock chart just shooting straight up. Yeah, changing brokers. Yeah, I agree with you, right? Changing brokers is not very difficult. It's really easy to do that. I really like TradeStation. They have great APIs, so we're going to be working with them soon. They also have crypto, they have futures, they have a lot of other stuff. So TradeStation's a really good one that we're going to be adding in. It's amazing, guys. I got to start running my own money in this strategy. We literally just built this like 2 days ago, so we're still testing it out. But it's amazing. Look at this. Literally in the course of this conversation, we've already made what, like $300 or something like that. It's just in the course of our talking right now. Cool strategy, right? So yeah, so that's our Reddit trading strategy. If you have no coding experience, really not that hard for you guys to get this up and running. It's part of our code library, so you can actually start off with this. You can modify it however you want. You don't have to be an expert programmer to do this stuff, guys. You don't have to be some like whiz kid, because we give you a lot of these templates they could start off with. All right. Okay, cool. So that's a Reddit sentiment. I'm going to show you one more. That one actually is really cool. I gotta run that one. I'm going to do that after this. I'm going to run in the cloud and have it go for a few days, test it out for a couple of days, because that's pretty impressive how well it did that quickly. Like I said, we just built this one like 2 days ago. Another one I want to show you guys, and this is one that we actually just put a bunch of our money into. I really like this strategy, and I'll tell you why, right? And I'll tell you why through a back test, okay? So we teach you not only how to build the bots, we also teach you how to do the research behind it, as to, you know, how are you going to be picking a strategy? Is this a good strategy for you to do or not, right? How do you find these strategies? And this is one way they can figure out whether a strategy is good for you or not, okay? What I'm doing right now is I'm running a back test, okay? So there's a back test for a strategy that we call diversified leverage, okay? And basically what we're doing is we're going from 2012, right? We're doing this because some of these ticker symbols didn't exist until 2012. From 2012 until 2021, so 9 years, okay? And we're seeing how would our strategy have done over the past 9 years? What kind of results would we have gotten, all right? So the strategy in particular, the one that we're doing, is called this diversified leverage strategy, okay? And basically what it is this is like modern portfolio theory, right? If you talk to someone like a Ray Dalio, or you talk to like some of the most prominent investors in the world, they all tell you diversify well. And the reason why you diversify well is because you want to make sure that you reduce your risk. And if you reduce your risk, you can take on more, you can actually take on more risk and make more money, right? Essentially. So what this is we have a bunch of different ticker symbols we're in here. We're in the leveraged NASDAQ, so TQQQ, right? So it's the triple NASDAQ, right? So 3x the returns of the NASDAQ. If you look at the stock chart on this thing, it's wild. It's like up 1,600% in 2 years or something like that. It's crazy, right? But of course, also has its risks. There's a downside as well, right? So we want to protect against that. So we have 20% of our money into that, 10% of our money into UPRO, which is the leveraged S&P 500, 3x leveraged. Then we have 10% of our money into UDOW, which is a leveraged Dow Jones. Then we have 10% of our money in emerging markets, right? Leveraged emerging markets, right? 35% of our money in leveraged treasury bonds. So now we diversify, right? So we have in total 50% of our money in stocks, right? In leveraged stocks, right? And diversified around the world a little bit, right? And then we have the rest of our money in something to counterbalance that, right? To reduce our risks, to give us some good hedging, and to improve our returns without taking on too much risk, right? So we do that by having leveraged treasury bonds. So usually when stocks fall, treasuries go up and vice versa. So they're a really good hedge to have in a portfolio. We also have Barclays VIX, right? This is an interesting one. Basically, you lose money regularly, but when things fall apart, if like the stock market crashes, it'll go like up 5x. You'll make 500% of your money in like a day, right? And that's a really good hedge because if things fall, you want to be able to protect yourself, right? And we also have 5% of our money in gold. So this is one that actually I've put some of our money into, right? Not all, like some good chunk of our money into this strategy. And I'll tell you why, right? When we look at the back test, what we could see here is, look at this. So this is this strategy. Okay, over that same time period, right? Over this 2012 to 2021, that 9 years there. So January 1st, 2012 to January 1st, 2021, right? So 9 years, yeah. Over that time period, the S&P 500 was up 17.5%, which is nice, great. If you're in this strategy, you would have made 28.9%. You would have almost doubled the stock market's returns, okay? Which is amazing, right? Like obviously that's, if you guys do the math behind this, this is the difference between when you retire, you could retire with $1 million versus 10 million, right? That's like the difference, right? Like it's a very, very large difference when you have double the stock market's returns. Huge, huge payouts. This could be worth $9 million to you in the future. You know what I mean? This kind of differential, right? But okay, so it's great to have a higher returns. That's awesome, right? But we're not just talking about higher returns here. We're talking about higher returns while taking on the same amount or less risk, okay? So over that same time period, so we doubled the stock market's returns, but we also had only a little bit of increase in our volatility. It's not too much more volatile, meaning this up and down thing. And our max drawdown is almost exactly the same, right? So meaning from the peak to the bottom, right? This is in last year, right? March, 2020, stock market fell 30%. From the very top to the very bottom, it fell 33%, okay? If you were invested in this strategy, you would have also only lost about 33% at the same time period. So we have the same risk as the stock market, but we're making double the returns. That to me sounds incredibly impressive, right? Which is why we're putting some of our money into this, right? We diversify among different strategies. We don't put everything into one, but this was one when we're looking at 30% a year returns, sounds very appealing to me, right? So this one went ahead. When we go in here, you could see it automatically bought all these things for us, right? All the different ones. This would be a pain, by the way, to do on your own. And the key is that it doesn't just buy these, it rebalances. And that's the key here, right? Because you'll have days like, for example, TQQQ will shoot up, in a week's time, will shoot up 100% or something like that. When it shoots up 100%, you want to rebalance your portfolio and put money somewhere else. And that's how you actually get the safety along with the very good gains, right? It's intelligent portfolio construction, and that's how you end up making all the money. That's why having like a robot that'll automatically look at the stuff and rebalance for you is really important, because that's how you're actually going to end up with these returns. You can't just go and buy them and that's it, right? You actually have to be rebalancing and trading them on a regular basis, right? So I very much like this strategy as well. We have our own money, like I said, in this as well. And so far been doing, we've been making good money. So I'm happy with it so far. All right, cool. All right, so that's a couple of our strategies. We've showed you everything from our day trading, to trading off of Reddit, to, building intelligent portfolios. I have a few more that I could show you guys. We have a whole library, like I said, there's tons of different things. We have things where we trade off of like macroeconomic things where we use like the debt, where the Fed Reserve, that they take on debt, we trade off of that. We're building out a bunch of options trading strategies as well. Which we're going to have a separate webinar to kind of explain a bunch of that stuff where, you can trade volatility and all that sort of thing. We have lots and lots of different strategies, and we just keep growing more and more of them. So if you guys join our courses, not only are we going to teach you how to do this stuff, we're going to give you access to that big library. So you'll be able to either use it right out of the box, or, modify it to do whatever you want it to do. You'll have access to that sort of stuff. All right. Cool. So that's the demo. Do you guys have any questions around that before I start telling you guys about the course and kind of how you guys can start building these types of things yourselves? I have one question here. How do you deal with losses? How do you sell your stops? When do you sell? So it depends on the strategy, right? So if I'm using the Reddit strategy, I'm not going to use any stop losses. I'm not interested in that, right? that will automatically switch when the sentiment goes down, right? And sometimes if it goes down, you might want to buy more, right? So if I'm using a Reddit strategy, I'm not going to use any stop losses, right? Same thing with this diversification strategy, right? The diversification strategy is actually the opposite. If things fall, you buy more of it, right? Because then you end up buying things on like a fire sale, right? But if you're doing something like intraday trading, right, then we have lots of different options for you. You could use all sorts of different types of orders. We have a bunch here. I could like walk you through a couple of them. We have, stop orders, stop limit orders, trailing stops. We have bracket orders. We have OCO, OTO. There's a bunch of different orders that you can put through to manage all that sort of stuff if you'd like, if you're doing the day trading thing, right? We have a lot of those options available to you, right? But it depends on the strategy, right? There's all sorts of different ways that you can trade and all sorts of different ways that you can make money. So it really depends on kind of like what you're doing, right? And why, right? Cool, awesome. Any other questions before we move on? I like how you guys are actually asking these questions throughout. This is great. Definitely like that sort of thing. It's really exciting. So these new strategies. I'm very interested. I want to get this Reddit one up and running soon. I'm going to paper trade it for a couple of weeks to see how it does, and then if it performs as well as I think it will, which I mean by the looks of it, it's already doing quite well. If it does well over the next 2 weeks, we're going to put some of our money into that as well. So we got a question here. So I spoke to your associate Alicia, and should I? And she told me I will learn Python. Yeah, we teach you how to code Python within the courses, right? So let me tell you something about the courses, right? Python is a programming language, right? So Python is learning how to code. So when you're looking at this here, this is code, right? You're able to build these trading robots because of this code for Python, right? You're able to program these types of bots and get them to do whatever you want them to do using code, right? Okay. So here's a little bit about our course, okay? So this course that I'm talking to you about right now is our Algorithmic Trading course. We have many different courses. We have a machine learning course. We have a options trading course coming out soon. And then we're planning on a crypto trading course coming out soon and a few other ones, right? But this is our Algorithmic Trading course, right? This is kind of our flagship, the main one that most people sign up to, okay? And we have basically within this course, we're going to teach you how to build these trading algorithms, right? We're going to teach you, first of all, how to code, right? So even if you don't know how to code, we'll teach you from scratch how to code. We'll teach you how to apply that code to the finance world, so doing data science and things like that, and being able to analyze things and figure out what is the right strategy, right? And then we'll actually teach you how to build these trading robots, back test them, make sure that they make you money, and then actually run these things, right? So that's what we teach you in these courses. So not only are you going to come out of these courses knowing how to build these types of bots and have your own working bots, but also you're learning a very valuable skill, right? So a lot of people, so you're an engineer, that's great, awesome. What kind of engineer are you, by the way, Wesley? So, you'll come out of this and you'll have the skills, not only of being able to build these bots, but a lot of people, they end up actually getting like good jobs and things like that out of this as well. So, if you're an industrial engineer, for example, I'm sure you could apply Python to a lot of things that you do at work, right? And help you with your actual job itself. We've had a lot of people go through our courses. One of our recent grads just got a job at Goldman Sachs, which is really cool. She said that putting this on her resume really helped a lot. So it's not only are you learning to build these bots, but you're also learning valuable skills for yourself. Data science pays very, very well as a job, right? So you're learning both things here. All right, so let me tell you about our plans for this course, right? So we essentially have 3 different plans. We have our self-directed plan, which is basically you're going to just watch video recordings. You get access to our community, and you're going to be able to talk to other people and go through courses. But you're kind of going through them on your own, right? Which is good. I mean, if you have some programming background, whatever. But really, the one that people are most enthusiastic about is our live classes. People love these things. It's kind of like what made us Lumiwealth, right? And what these live classes do is basically it's like live over Zoom. So imagine, I teach one of the classes. I teach this class, the algo trading class. But for other classes, kind of the same thing. There's someone over Zoom, live presenting. You can ask questions throughout. Right now, you guys are able to, go into the chat and ask questions, that sort of thing. when we're going through these classes, you could turn on your microphone, you could turn on your camera, and we could have a dialogue. We have a discussion, right? We do a lot of workshops within these classes as well. So you'll actually be able to like share your screen, and we make sure that you get everything installed, everything set up properly. We walk you through this. You get a chance to jump on one-on-one calls a little bit, so it's really interactive. You get to know other people in the class. You build a community around this sort of stuff, and we all really work together to help you get to the point where you have bots running and making money, and you're learning these types of skills, right? So that's our live classes. They're live over Zoom. It's our most popular option by far. And then a lot of people, and I think especially lately, we've had a lot of people getting on this project help and tutoring plans. So basically what that is, so each one of these is like the live classes, you get everything in self-directed, plus you get access to live classes, right? And you get to be live over Zoom and do the workshops, all kind of stuff. The project help and tutoring includes everything from that, right? You get into the live class, you get to be interactive with other students, you get to be part of our community, all that kind of thing. But on top of that, well, we can also get some of our software engineers involved to actually help you build some of these strategies, right? So you're not going to be just doing it on your own. We could actually get involved and help you actually write some code. And we also spend a lot of time with you one-on-one over the phone to make sure that you're getting where you need to get to, right? So if that means building a specific bot, we can help you with that. If that means doing some analysis on some specific things you're interested in, if you're interested in things like biotech, or you're interested in things like day trading, or interested in whatever it is, we can actually sit down with you one-on-one and help you with that. So you get access to all the live classes, plus you get access to our team that is going to be backing you up as well, right? So these are the prices for the courses. So our self-directed course, again, this is just the class recordings. You get to go through all the class recordings, and you get access to our community. That's $649, right? Our live classes, which is again over Zoom, you get to follow along in the lectures. This stuff is really fun. It's really interactive. I love teaching these classes because we always have such great people in there. You get to learn from your fellow classmates. We get to do a lot of workshops during class. So if you get stuck anywhere, you could share your screen and we walk through this stuff together. We do a lot of things to make sure that you get to a point where you're building these bots and you're building it quickly and easily, and you're learning this new skill in a very good way, right? So that's our live classes. And those are fantastic. Definitely our bestseller. And then again, here's, and that's, by the way, it's $3,000, but it's paid over 3 months. So you don't have to pay it up front, right? We have a payment plan. We're actually working on getting payment plans for even longer periods if you guys are interested in that. And then we have a project help and tutoring plan, okay, which again includes everything from before, right? Plus we'll get some of our developers involved. Plus we'll spend a lot of time with you one-on-one over the phone, making sure that you get to where you want to get to. We'll help you in any way that we possibly can to get you to having a working bot and having your strategy work for you and do what you need it to do. All right. Okay. And this one is, again, also has this payment plan over a 3-month period. All right. And also for the live classes and project help and tutoring, you will have lifetime access to any of these courses. So sometimes things happen and, hospital or, something happened at work or whatever, right? There's reasons why you might not be able to take the course. You could retake it as many times as you want, right? So say something happened, you weren't able to keep up, we could put you into the next one and you can actually start from there, right? So you have lifetime access. You can do this forever. And these classes, honestly, they keep getting updated all the time, right? There's new technology that comes out. We have new, like for example, that Reddit bot, that's brand new, right? If you guys take our courses now, you get access to that, right? And that's only the live classes and the project help and tutoring ones, right? Do we take PayPal credit so your payments can be paid over 20 minutes with no interest? Yeah, I think we could probably do that. I'm not very familiar with PayPal credit, but bring it up to either myself or Alicia, and I think we could work something like that out, right? If it is what I think it is, right? We're actually looking into like those types of options, right? We're kind of changing the way that our purchasing works on our website, and we want to actually make it easier for you guys to pay over longer periods of time. Something like that makes a lot of sense, like a PayPal credit or something. So get in touch with either Alicia or get in touch with me, because I think you said you're speaking with Alicia before, right? Tell her that this is what you want to do, and we'll try to figure this out, right? Because I'm actually interested in looking into this too. Cool, good question. All right, so that's our course plans. We also do bundles as well, where we have other courses, right? So we have our machine learning course. If you buy this together with our machine learning course, you save some money, right? So, you know, you get, for example, the 2 live classes instead for $3,000, you get it for 3,200, right? So you're saving quite a bit of money. Sorry, this 2 live classes together, 3 versus 5, right? So you're saving, you know, 20% on top of that. So if you're interested in taking our machine learning class as well, which teaches you essentially how to use like artificial intelligence and machine learning to trade, right? Then you could take these bundles together and save yourself some money as well, right? And a lot of people choose to do that. Combining the 2 skills together really is quite powerful. And you can do a lot of very interesting things using machine learning. I actually want to have like a machine learning bot that to demo sometime soon as well, to show you guys that, because it's really interesting what you can do. Okay. You guys can scroll through a page. By the way, if you want to get to this page, go to lumiwealth.com. Okay. Lumiwealth.com right up here. I'll show you guys. This is our website. I'm going to put it into the chat. Okay. Go to lumiwealth.com. And then, you know, if you're on a mobile phone, this will be like this little 3 things. If you're on your desktop, you can go here, Algorithmic Trading. That's the course that we're talking about. And you can go directly into it, right? That's the one up there. Okay. So you can go ahead and you can read through all this stuff and you can actually buy it through here and whatnot. All right. And actually, let me send you even, let me send you guys even the link to this as well, so you guys can go through and read up on it. All right, cool. So let me tell you a little bit about our course curriculum and kind of what you could expect to learn throughout this course. So the course is divided up into 3 parts, right? The first part is kind of like the fundamentals, right? It's data science fundamentals. So we'll teach you how to program in Python. We'll teach you how to use Python to use a library, something called Pandas, which basically allows you to do, it's what everyone uses for data science, right? Which means you could download financial data, you can analyze it, you could look at like macroeconomic data, you could look at your stock data, come up with different strategies, do your analysis, all that sort of thing. We teach you all the fundamentals behind that, loading CSV files and whatnot, right? Throughout this entire first part, we have a lot of assignments they can go through so you can practice and get better at this sort of thing. And we're actually building a bigger and bigger library of like questions so that you guys can practice and get good at that, right? That's the first part. That's 4 weeks long, okay? The second part is applying the data science to finance, right? So this is when things get a little bit more advanced, right? And we teach you how to download financial data. We teach you how to work with that financial data, interpret it in different ways. We teach you how to use statistics to like actually look into things and see, you know, correlations between different things, right? This is enabling you to analyze your investment strategies and come up with new ones, right? And then we spent a lot of time talking about back testing as well, which is kind of like what I showed you. We're able to back test our strategy, and we saw that this one did quite well over that 9-year period, did double the stock market's return with the same risk. Amazing, right? We teach you how to do that sort of thing and to back test your own strategies and see how they're working and whatnot. And then throughout this entire second part, we do a lot of presentations. So you'll see not only will you be able to present your own stuff, which is really cool because you get feedback and it kind of forces you to move along and get some stuff done, right? But also you get to see a lot of other people's presentations, right? So you get to see other people's ideas. People always come up with like the coolest stuff. Honestly, like every time I do this, that we keep coming up with like newer and newer ideas. Learning from these students I feel like I learn a lot from you guys as much as sometimes you guys learn from me, because we've had so many like interesting strategies come up. You know, the Reddit strategy, for example, came from our most recent class, right? There's one of our students that presented on this and we turned that into a strategy, right? And we actually made this thing happen. We have another person who's working on, you know, trading biotech stocks, you know, based off of like clinical trials and how they're going through clinical trials. And you could trade based off of that, based on the news of how that stuff comes out, right? That's really interesting, right? We have lots of people built like machine learning bots. Like there's all sorts of like really cool stuff that people are building. And you get to see that in this part 2. You get to see them demo this sort of stuff and talk about the research and whatnot. So you're going to be working on your own project, but you're also going to see other people's presentations, right? That's part 2. So we have some questions here. If I start to self-direct a plan, can I upgrade to a live plan in the future for the difference between the courses, or do I have to purchase it separately? So Gil, you have to purchase it separately. So if you buy live class right now, you get things for, a little bit cheaper. But if you want to buy them, if you want to buy self-directed now, we don't offer that upgrade, right? You either choose the live class or you choose the self-directed, right? If you want to later on, you can buy another one, but it's up to you, right? So you save some money doing it up front, right? And then Alexander asks, so Robert, I bought an indicator that I like to use. Can I export this to the program? Thank you for patiently answering my questions. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for asking questions. This is great. I love all the questions that you're asking, Alexander. The short answer is most likely yes, right? But the long answer is where is it coming from, right? Where is this indicator coming from? If you could tell me more about it, I can give you a more concrete answer. Generally speaking, if it's on your computer somehow, we can access it and we could use it, right? But there's easier and harder ways, right? So if you could tell me where this indicator is coming from, I could tell you more specifically on how you'd be able to do that and whatnot. I can tell you, for example, one thing that one of our students is working on is from John Carter's Simpler Trading. So is that like an email or something like that? So I can tell you one of our students right now is working on something like that, where I forget the guy's name. Jonah something, I think it is. He gives really good stock, advice on, I'm buying these stocks and this is why, and that sort of thing. And he puts out an email. So what one of our students is reading the emails and being able to trade off of that, right? So we could do that sort of thing, right? Or if it's up on a website somewhere, we could read the website and use that. So depending on kind of how we access it, there's easier and harder ways to do it. But generally speaking, I would say most likely, yes, we can do this, right? Almost 100% sure, yes, right? Okay, so if you could tell me where do you find this indicator? Is it an email? Is it on Twitter? Is it on StockTwits? Is it on their website, right? Any one of these we can connect to very easily, right? And more, right? So yeah, my guess is yes, but knowing that kind of thing would help. You sent me you will send me information. Yeah, cool, perfect, awesome. Send it over. I'll read it over and I'll kind of give you the synopsis on how this works. You wouldn't be the first one doing this, right? There's a lot of other people in our class are doing the same sort of thing. They follow some people, they like their stock advice, and we basically just follow what they're doing, right? They say to do this and just automatically buy and sell the stuff that they say to do, right? So there's definitely, you wouldn't be the first person in our class working on something like that. Okay, Gil asks, when the bot is up and running, is it automatic and self-working, or do we need to monitor it as it's working? It's automatic. It goes on its own. My bots are just running in the cloud. I don't think about them too much. I check every morning. I'm like, oh, this is nice. I made money, right? But you don't need to actually be monitoring these things, right? That's kind of the whole point of it, right? To make your life easier in that respect, right? If you want to monitor it, you can, and maybe at the beginning when you first started running, you might want to check up on it, right? But the whole point of this is to have it run on its own. I don't check mine too often, right? I just like looking at the profits. How do we do today? It's hit refresh. It's fun for me. It's just fun. I like doing that in the morning. Yeah, definitely awesome. Thank you. Cool. All right. Okay. So back to the course curriculum. So I told you about the first two parts, right? So part 1 is 4 weeks long, teaches you fundamentals of coding and data science. So even if you don't know how to code, we'll teach you how to do it in this part, right? We also give you other supplementary materials, that sort of stuff to help you get there. The second part is applying all that to the world of finance. So downloading financial data, analyzing it, back testing things. You're going to be also working on your own project while you're going through part 2. So you're going to see people's presentations and things like that. It's really fun. And I always love people's presentations because people come up with the coolest things. This class has been really fun that we've been going through. I was thinking about last night's class. People presenting on some cool stuff. We always have interesting discussions, but so Cornelia asks, is there a sandbox to simulate the trade before live? Absolutely, yes. So what I was showing you today was paper trading. It was a sandbox as a simulation, right? Whenever I do these demos, I do it in the sandbox because, that's not a good way to run a strategy. You should actually run it the whole day. But yeah, we of course say, don't start live trading immediately, right? Use the sandbox first, make sure that everything's working properly, and then put it live, right? I highly recommend anyone do that, right? Okay, cool. Good question. Thank you. Thank you, Cornelia. Okay, cool. So we talked about this course curriculum, the first two parts, right? By the time that you get to part 3, you know how to code, you've learned the basics, you've learned how to apply this to the world of finance, you know how to do the data science on it and research and back testing, that sort of thing. Now, when you get to part 3, we're actually building a robot, right? So in part 3, we teach you how to actually take all the stuff that you've done and have a working robot going. Sometimes people get working robots in part 2. Sometimes we even get to that point because the back testing and the building of the robot overlap a little bit, right? But by part 3, you're going to have a working robot on your computer. And let me tell you this: like I have one of my students right now, didn't even know how to open up a folder on her computer, didn't know how her file system worked, and she has a bot running. You know what I mean? Like coding was like some crazy language to her, but she was able to get this up and running. She has a bot running on her computer, even with that kind of knowledge, right? So we worked really to get everyone up and running and going with this. We do a lot of workshops, make sure that this is going on your computer. So by part 4, you're going to have a working trading bot, and you're going to have this thing actually trading for you. We give you a bunch of these example strategies. All the ones I showed you today, you could use any one of those, right? And you can set that up on your computer and have it run, right? And then you can modify it. You could change it to be whatever else, or you can start from scratch, build your own. You could build really any kind of thing over here. So part 3 is really about building that trading robot, having something trade for you, right? And the project throughout this entire thing is now actually having that trading bot working, and you'll see a lot of other people's doing it, right? So by part 3, we're going to be doing presentations, and you'll see someone else ran their bot for X amount of time. How did it work? Did it do well? Like you could see all that kind of stuff. You can present your own, you can get feedback. So a lot of really cool stuff here. All right. And then also at the end of it, we also give you a little intro to machine learning. We have an entire course on machine learning, right? So we spend a lot of time on that in that course. But in this class, we also go a little bit into machine learning as well to kind of get your feet wet and so you sort of understand how it all works, right? Okay. So by the end of this class, you're gonna know how to code. We're gonna teach you how to code, teach you data science. We're gonna teach you how to analyze stocks, how to come up with good trading strategies and make sure that they're actually gonna work for you, and then how to actually build this bot. So by the time you're getting out of this, you're hopefully gonna have a profitable bot running for you and making you money while you're asleep, right? Or working on something else, right? It'll do the work for you while you're like doing something else, right? Okay, so we got a couple questions here. Shane asks, if I'm getting started, would it be beneficial to do this class first or get a basic data science master's from a boot camp? I don't think you need to have that before you start a class. Like I said, we have a lot of people that really don't know how to code at all, and they got bots up and running. So I don't think you need to do a boot camp before this, right? We'll teach you how to code within our actual class, right? So I think that's, I've seen a lot of people go through that, and a lot of people have been able to catch up to that. And for you, if it's too quick, you can even retake the course. So it's like we offer you to retake it as many times as you want. But I don't think you need a boot camp before getting started on this. It's not, we take you through those steps, right? Good question, Shane. All right, we have another Q&A here. Showing up on my other page. Okay, it's the same question. So Shane, you asked, if we're getting started. Yeah, I don't think you need to do a boot camp first. We'll teach you how to actually code within the class. All right. Okay, cool. So that's the curriculum, right? Let me know if you guys have any more questions around the curriculum. So by the end of it, basically you're learning how to code, you're learning how to analyze stocks and options and that sort of stuff, or using data science to analyze things. And then you're building out your actual bot itself that's going to be running. So by the end of the class, you have a working bot, right? These are the classes that are coming up. The June class, if you guys really want, it's starting tonight. It's very last minute. But if you guys really want, I think we still have an extra space or two. So if you guys want to join, you guys are welcome to. It starts at 8 p.m. tonight, right? 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. So if you guys want to join, you can sign up right now and start learning tonight. It'd be cool, right? But of course, that is a little short notice, right? But that's our June class. Basically, this one runs every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It lasts for 12 weeks. So each one of our courses are 12 weeks, or algorithmic trading is 12 weeks long, right? Every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And the classes are about 2 hours each, right? Ish. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, and depending on how long it takes to get through things. and it's live over Zoom, kind of like what we're doing right now. But you get to have your microphones on and ask questions live, and we do lots of workshops. You can share your screen and all that kind of stuff, see other people presenting and whatnot. It's really fun classes. And that one's starting today, right? June 24th is starting today at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then the next one, if you guys are interested, is starting in August, right? This one starts on August 25th. This is, I believe, a Wednesday. And this one runs every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern or 5 p.m. Pacific. Same kind of deal. It's 2 hours per lecture every once a week. We recommend they also spend like an extra 8 to 12 hours in self-study, right? So to practice and kind of build your own things, right? And then it's also 12 weeks long, right? Okay. This one right now, the August one, by the way, we have an early bird special going on for. So you get an extra 20% off, I think, up until July 11th, right? So you can get a discount on this one if you sign up soon, right? We're doing like an early bird special, right? Okay, cool. And then I also spoke about our course projects, right? So actually, by the way, so that 20% off, that translates to $600, right? So to save $600, you can sign up before July 11th, and you can save that money there. All right. Okay. So I spoke about the projects, right? We have the two projects. The first one, which is analyzing investments. The second one, which is building a live trading robot, right? We're going to have presentations throughout the entire thing. And you'll get to see how other people are doing their projects. You're going to be able to present yours. Lots of feedback, lots of like learning from each other. It's really cool. I learn sometimes a lot from the people that come in. Really cool strategies that some people have. This is a little bit more about me. If you want to read about myself, I'm the one teaching this course. Our machine learning course is taught by Greg. Greg Tanaka is our machine learning course instructor. That guy is a genius. He basically helps build like machine learning models for hedge funds. I think his average return is something like 45% for all his clients. He's making good money. So he's the guy that teaches our machine learning course. So if you want to take the bundle, you could read up about him a little bit and his course. If you go up here, machine learning, this is that other course, and you could buy them in a bundle, right? You save some money if you buy the two courses together. And this is Greg for the other course, right? He doesn't teach algo trading. He teaches machine learning, right? Okay. All right. So I'll go back to algo trading. And then, so that's basically the course, right? We start, one class starts today in June. Next one starts in August. We're probably going to put up another one very soon. It will probably be in October that we'll start it, right? The next one. Okay. We start about every 2 months. And then you also have that early bird, which is going to be a month before registration closes. We run the early bird for that time. So you save that 20%. All right. Okay. If you want to learn a little bit more, if you want to know, kind of like some people took our courses, like we get rave reviews, which is awesome. But you could watch some of our testimonials here. I got a few more. I got to throw them up here. But here's like a few different people. Agim, when he started, didn't know how to code at all. He's built some really cool stuff now. Renee, he did have a coding background, but he really got really far and built some really interesting things. Sintayan built some amazing stuff. So you can watch any one of these to kind of get some idea of like other people that took our classes. I'm going to put up a bunch more soon. We just need to like actually record them and put them up and edit them, because I got a couple that we haven't edited yet. But if you want to get to know kind of our past students, you could do that here and read a little bit about what they've done. Also, make sure you join our Discord. For those of you that came in a little late, here's our Discord channel. I'm going to put this link into our chat, and I highly recommend that you guys join this because okay, I highly recommend that you guys join our Discord because it's a community with a lot of different people in here. You can learn from other people that have already done this. You could speak to our alumni, how they like the course. You can kind of join in all the different discussions around stocks and crypto and whatnot. Get some ideas on different trading strategies. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening in Discord. So I suggest you click on that link in the chat and you join our Discord channel, because it's definitely got some really cool stuff in there. All right, it's like a chat group, right? It's really fun to be part of. Cool. Okay. So that's pretty much it for our presentation today. any last questions for you guys? I know you guys have been asking questions throughout, which is awesome. Thank you for that. But here's your moment to sit back and ask more questions about all this stuff. I'm really excited about getting this Reddit bot up and running. I hope I can get this before the market closes so we can like actually see how this thing runs. Okay, here. So we got a chat. How soon will tonight's class be available? Available in what respect? So if you buy the self-directed, you're going to get the recordings from the last class. You don't get the recordings from this one, right? If you buy the live class, you get access to all of it, right? And basically we have the recordings up like 2 days later, like a day or two later, we get the recordings up. And then tonight's class starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time, right? If you buy the self-directed stuff, then you'll have access to the recordings of the last class that we did, right? So it's always like one class behind the self-directed, right? And then again, with the live classes, you also get the newer stuff. So as new classes come out, you'll get access to that as well, right? Cool. Any other questions, guys? I love how active you guys have been. This has been really fun. It's been a good one. I'm gonna give you guys a few more seconds. Thank you. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you for being here. It's been great. Probably a month or so. Got it. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, sounds great. Well, let me know. I mean, if you ever want to jump on a call, if you want to speak to some of our associates, some of our salespeople, or customer service reps, feel free to book a call whenever you want. We're more than happy to help. Catching up on pandas, awesome. We teach you a lot of pandas within the course, by the way. Within the course, we actually show you how to use pandas and how to actually use it for the financial world and that sort of thing. So if you're new to pandas, even we can, we'll show you how to do that and how to apply to the finance world. We do a lot of that in the course. All right. Okay. So, so if I can get the PayPal or any extended payment plan, I'll sign up for the August course. Okay. Yeah. Let's have that conversation. Just please reach out to Alicia or myself, and we'll figure out how to do this, because that sounds really interesting. I want to try to figure out how to do that as a general thing as well. Right. Gil, thank you very much. Look forward to taking your class. I look forward to seeing you in our classes, Gil. It's great. Hey, thank you very much, everyone, for being part of this webinar. This has been awesome. You guys have been great company during this time, and hope to see you guys in our classes soon and building some really cool bots. I'm going to try to get this Reddit bot up and running in the next 10 minutes so we could actually start seeing how that's working. Cool. It's crazy how much money it made in such a short time. I feel like it's very interesting, but okay, cool. Have a good one, guys. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and it's close to the weekend, so I hope you guys have a great weekend too. All right. Have a good one.